Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Ram 1500 TRX with some aftermarket wheels and tires. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to National GMC here in American Fork for giving me some time with this TRX. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Let's hop right into the video. So under the hood here, we have a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 702 horsepower and then 650 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 10 around town and then 14 on the highway. And yeah, look at that thing. Look how far back that is. Pretty cool. And yes, we do have the TRX eating the Raptor underneath this little thing, as you guys can see. Definitely a cool little Easter egg. But yeah, that's under the hood. Now let's go over the front end of the TRX. So first off, up here we've got the 6.2 liter supercharged badge. You've got the venting here in the center of the hood, and then you've got the functional hood scoop here with the amber lights there in the center. You've got the gigantic LED lights that were stolen from the Limited, venting off to the side, and then another marker light here. We've got the fog lights down below with more of the parking sensors. You've got tow hooks on either side, and then you guys can see the skid plate action here on the front end. Looks super aggressive. I absolutely love how this looks in black, and you guys can see a little bit of negative offset from the aftermarket wheels and tires, and you know, it looks cool. Now coming around the side here, we've got 22-inch wheels, and wrapped around that we have 35s in the front and in the rear as well. I love the design of the wheel, how it's all blacked out. I think it looks really cool. And like I said, this does poke out quite a bit more than like the stock tire and wheel setup, and so it just looks quite a bit more aggressive. You guys can see the front suspension here. We have the active shocks from Bilstein with the TRX. You can see the oversized fender flare here with the venting on the side. Ram logo. This one has these smaller mirrors. And then popping over here to the rear, like I said, setup's the same. But you guys can see the coil suspension, and again, those shocks from Bilstein. They are absolutely fantastic with dampening on-road and off-road as well. And other than that, well, there's your full side view. So here's our key fob for the TRX. We've got the remote start, the tailgate drop down, the lock, and the unlock. We have a payload capacity of 1,257 pounds with the truck. You guys can see this one doesn't have a bed line or anything from the factory, but that's easy to add. LED lights. You've got the LED cargo light there at the top as well. And then lifting up the tailgate, it's very light, easy to get into place. And then you guys can see here at the rest of the rear, you've got the darkened center portion here on the taillights, and then you got the LED lights here with the fake venting. Looks cool. TRX logo there on the side. You can see that you've got the more aggressive bumpers here with the parking sensors, crazy exhaust tips. You've got the recovery hooks there on the back end. And I guess a raindrop just fell on the camera, but that's all for the back. Now here's a door panel in the rear with the TRX. You guys can see we've got the really nice leather trim up at the top. We've got the Alcantara with the carbon fiber, more leather trim. This comes with the Harman Kardon sound system, which is absolutely fantastic. I can say that confidently as a TRX owner. And then you guys can see here with the seats in the back, really nice leather seats, perforated leather here in the center, and then you got more of the Alcantara, and then you can see the gray leather insert right there. And then coming on the back of the seat, you guys can see again more leather here with the little bullet holders. And then we've got the ice buckets down below. You can see the storage space underneath. Heated ventilated seats here for the rear. We've got the USBs. We've got the power outlet, more carbon fiber, more cup holders, tons of fun stuff. And then also on the back of the seat, there's Alcantara. But that's all for the rear. So we go. So here's the door panel at the front. Again, you can see really nice leather with the carbon fiber, the Alcantara, more leather down below. We've got the mirrors that have blind spot monitoring. You've got more speakers for the Harman Kardon sound system, two functions for the memory seats, window controls. The mirrors do fold in. And then here are the seats at the front, really nice leather, again with the TRX logo. You can see the really nice bolstering here with the seats. And then down below, we've got our power adjustments for the seats. Pedal layout, which is really nice now. The 2021s don't have the pedals that are this nice, so that's something for 2022 that you get. Got the adjustments for the pedals, parking brake, light control with the fog lights and the cargo light. Steering wheel is still manually adjustable, and there's where we'll look before we pop in. Now here's the steering wheel with the TRX. You've got Alcantara here at the top and at the bottom. Really nice carbon fiber trim with the leather trim here on the side. Paddle shifters here on the back. Controls for the center stack, voice command, volume controls. Cruise control here. This one does not have the adaptive cruise control package, it looks like. Radio controls here on the back of the steering wheel. Turn signal, windshield wiper stock, and that's all for the steering wheel. Now here's the center gauge cluster. You guys can see just as aggressive as what you had in 2021. And in terms of any changes here, it looks like it's pretty much all the same information-wise. So that's all cool. I love how you can see the wheel articulation. That's definitely a cool thing to have. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for the center stack. I guess it only has 700 miles, but I will look at the fuel economy just for fun. 10 miles per gallon. Pretty good. Also, top speed, 90 miles an hour. Weak sauce, you got to go to 118 because that's the top speed of the truck. Now here is the center infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. You guys can see we've got the full 360 camera system. So you've got the backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and then a bunch of different camera views here as well. And then you do have like an off-road camera view, which has the kind of tire marks. So that helps out with going down a trail. Definitely a huge plus. Now this has the new version of the 12-inch display since this is a 22. So it functions similarly to the 2021 infotainment system, just a little bit different. You guys can see here for like the seats to turn those on with the climate control, it's a little bit different. And you know, some of the aesthetics just look a little bit different as well. Like, you know, you've got like a vehicle tab now, and then with the apps you guys can see everything you have with this, like the performance pages, all that fun stuff. And then we do have a bunch of different drive modes that you can basically do through the infotainment system, but you can also do through well, this button here in the center stack. And let's get into that. So yes, we are back here at the gauge cluster, but we have some different drive modes we can go into. We've got our, well, we went through it: custom, mud sand, rock, Baja, sport, tow, snow. I love like just the different, and then there's the normal mode. I just love how it shows the TRX in the different drive modes, just like doing the different obstacles. I think that's so cool. The animations, if you ask me. But yeah, that's all of the different drive modes for the TRX. And again, that's with this button right here. And then we have our off-road cruise control, stability control, and then we got our four-wheel auto, four-wheel high, axle lock, four-wheel low, and then launch control. And you can use launch control because this truck has the 500 miles. So you just press that, and then, right, we got to be in drive, but then it'll let me, it lets you know all the stuff that you have to do. But yeah, this has launch control, which is pretty cool. Trailer brake controls, trailer steering, all of our auxiliary switches, parking sensors front and rear. Got the extra storage space here, bunch of USBs. You can see the wireless phone charger looks a little bit different as well. Still have the shifter here in the center console. Still have the plaque here that gives you your VIN number and then the supercharger information, all that fun stuff. And then you guys can see storage space is just as good as before. Still have the carbon fiber in the glove box, really nice leather all over the dash, right? Gives you that luxury-esque feel. Camera mirror with this truck. And then we have the power sliding window there in the rear. And this one has a full panoramic sunroof. That all being said, let's take it out and see how it drives. Talk about visibility here in the TRX. You got the visibility of the hood. You guys can now see the heads-up display, both of the mirrors. They got blind spot, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Setting off here in the 2022 Ram TRX, and you guys know I obviously own a TRX, but something that I want to kind of test out is I haven't driven, and this is pretty much a brand new TRX. I haven't driven a brand new TRX in quite some time. And you guys know I've taken my truck off-road a bunch, I've jumped and everything. I'm curious to see if this feels any different than my truck from a driving characteristic perspective. Like if I've ruined anything with the suspension and the driving with my truck by doing all of the crazy stunts I've done with it. We're of course gonna pop it into sport mode because that's the fun driving mode to do. And so far, all the normal like stuff that my truck does makes sound wise and everything, like the hood closing, the doors and everything sounds the same. So that's a plus for TRX reliability with rallying it. Sounds so good with the supercharger. I forgot, yeah, I haven't driven my truck in a minute, but I forgot how good this truck handles. It's so quick. It's so quick. It's such a fun vehicle. I love the TRX because of that, right? And I mean, this with the 22s, it feels the same as a stock truck from an acceleration perspective. I mean, you guys can see like it just moves. The truck just moves. There's a little bit more tire noise with these aftermarket wheels and tires. I will say that compared to a stock truck, there's a little bit more, but it's not bad. It's not obnoxious or anything like that. You'd only be able to know the difference if you own a TRX like I do and can like just instantly perceive the difference with them. Yeah, brakes feel the same. Hey, you know what? My truck is my truck's held up really well because this pretty much drives just like my my truck. Yeah, but I guess we'll get into signing things up here with the 2022 TRX after driving that for a little bit. Obviously I got a whole series on my trucks, so we don't have to do too much with this. Exterior wise, you guys know I love the look of the TRX, and I think this with the aftermarket tires and wheels looks like how a TRX should look like. This has like this aggressive stance to it, and it looks really, really good if you ask me. Interior wise, it's a full-blown luxury vehicle. This one's very well optioned out. It's got all the good stuff that you want. And then driving characteristic wise, it's an amazing daily driver. I've owned one for almost a year now, and it checks all the boxes. It's smooth, it's comfortable, it's fast. Yeah, it doesn't get great gas mileage, but I mean, if you can afford the truck, you can afford the gas for it. Overall, it's an amazing package, and driving this brand new one, again, 700 miles, basically brand new, shows me how good the reliability is with everything on the truck, from the engine to the shocks to the suspension, because my truck doesn't make any weird sounds or anything. That's like, this truck is all the same. Everything is all the same with this. So I'm super impressed with the reliability of the TRX. And if you want one, again, National GMC has this one. Now let's get some things up for a video on this 2022 Ram 1500 TRX. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to National GMC here in American Fork for giving me some time with this TRX. Check out their inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in the next video.